Hey y'all, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the start of a new playlist and a new podcast series where we're diving a little bit more into life topics as it concerns high value women in their 20s and 30s. Now, listen, if you are new here, I am a faith-based life coach. And so I do a lot of Bible study. I pull in a lot of references that make sense for the girls in their 20s and 30s. So we're also going to start to dive a little bit more into life topics, of course, still faith based, but this is going to mix in a little bit with the Bible study of like, how are we taking that perspective we're gaining from reading the Bible into our everyday lives and just being really good stewards of the gifts that God gave us, the resources, the blessings, the relationships, all of those things that we have been given access to in order to glorify God. How are we stewarding those things? Now, let me start by telling you this. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I got my first job when I was 18 years old. I did not work any younger than 18. I was taking on all the hours. Like, if the job was giving me hours, I was showing up for more hours. One, because I just love talking to people, and two, because I was all about my bag. When I became a full time entrepreneur at 23 years old, I took that same mindset into my business and I almost overdid it because obviously in your business, you give yourself your own hours. You are on your own schedule. And so I overworked 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, whenever I'm up late at night, if I can't sleep, if I had too much caffeine, if I wake up early, like I was working literally around the clock and it was not necessary. After doing that for a few years, I said, you know what? I'm no longer interested in working 50, 60 hours. I'm not even interested in working 40 hours. So if you listening to this and you like, I don't even want to work Monday through Friday. I just want to do Monday through Thursday, or I want a 25-hour work week. This is going to bless you, okay? Because I went from those 50, 60-hour weeks down to 25 hours a week, making the same amount of money. Actually, I make more money than I used to make now, based off of like experience and just understanding what I need to do in my business to move the needle and understanding what I need to do in my life to move the needle. Like, I find that for us who are working 40 hours, a lot of people who are working that many hours, like, you're really not working 40 hours. You think you're working 40 hours, but you're not. You sitting at your desk, you pick up your phone 50 times a day. Yes, you can look in your iPhone settings, by the way, and it will tell you how many phone pickups you have. Comment below how many phone pickups you've had today. You're going to be shocked, but you get distracted. You get on TikTok, you be watching videos, and you go into a black hole on TikTok for like an hour. So if you look at the amount of time where you're actually getting work done and being productive, if you are clocking in and out at work for a 40-hour week, you're probably working about 25 to 30 hours anyway. Okay. Take your lunch breaks away. That's at least 5 hours right there off of your 40 hours. So you're probably not working as much as you think you are, but the shift for productivity really comes in when you start to realize, if I'm going to give my all for 25 out of these 40 hours, what do I need to be doing in those 24 hours that is going to satisfy my job responsibilities, allow me to hit the performance metrics that I need to hit, whether I'm working for someone else or working for myself? And how can I be super impactful during that time? That is productivity. Okay. So I have a list of 6 things that are going to help you become more productive as a woman, whether it's in your job or in your life, because there is such a thing as life productivity as well. Number one, know your priorities. You have to know what's important and what's not important, okay? Everything is not important, and everything that's important to somebody else is not going to be important to you. And so you have to, at all times, be able to prioritize what needs to get done now, what needs to get done tomorrow, and what can wait until next week. And a part of this is a mindset shift as far as feeling like everything has to be done right now at this moment. And also not adopting other people's emergencies. Like if I have a list of priorities of things that need to get done for me, whether it's for my business or for my life or for my career, someone else having an emergency does not constitute an emergency for me. Because if you are attached to people who like to procrastinate and wait till the last minute to get things done, and then like 2 hours before the deadline, they're running around the building with their hair on fire, like a chicken with their head cut off, and now they're putting all of that energy on you. That's not healthy relationship exchange. Like, it's just not. Okay. Now, if you are that person, you're the drama. I need you to stop procrastinating and waiting to the last minute. I think there's a difference in between like you procrastinated and waited to the last minute and you're the only person responsible versus you procrastinated and waited to the last minute and now the entire team is at fault. Like there's a difference there, right? But we have to have priorities for what's important and what's not important so that we can distribute evenly our energy to things that matter right now in the current moment. And if you struggle with anxiety, this is really going to help you. Like setting priorities and learning how to set boundaries around your priorities is going to help alleviate your anxiety because anxiety comes from worry of the future and worry about things that we cannot control. So when you set priorities, that's you taking ownership and control and responsibility of the things that you can influence and letting go of the things that are either too far ahead for you to be thinking about right now or letting go of things that are really out of your control to begin with. So, number one is knowing your priorities. Number two is timing yourself for major activities. It is time to get painstakingly self aware of how long it takes you to do things and stop lying to yourself about how long it takes you to do things. Like, if it takes you 45 minutes to do your weekly report and you're allocating 20 minutes to that task, you are doing yourself a major disservice. I like to time myself when doing major activities so that I know how to allocate my time responsibly. Okay. It does not do me any good to pretend like it takes me shorter or longer to do something than it actually takes me time to do that. And when I say major activities, I'm really talking about the things that you do over and over again, the consistencies in your life. You have, daily responsibilities, weekly responsibilities, monthly responsibilities, things that repeat themselves. I know how long it takes me to grocery shop. I'm not going to give myself 30 minutes when I know it takes me 2 hours because I like to walk up and down every aisle. Like, if that is you, it is okay. But you need to be self aware and unashamed of how long it takes you to do things. Okay. Now, I like to use Toggle. You can also use a project management system like Asana or ClickUp, where there is a built in timer so that when you sit down to do your task, you can actually time yourself and then you can schedule yourself out better. This is also great for energy levels. Like you can actually add in a custom column into your project management system that says, okay, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being this needs all of my energy and all of my brain focus, down to a scale of 1 where this is a task that is so easy and so mindless that I could do it with my eyes closed and in my sleep. You can start rating your task based off of your energy level. And then you can schedule yourself to do high energy tasks when your energy is the highest. For me, it's the morning time. All these podcast episodes that you guys are getting, they're going to be dropping all throughout the day, all throughout the week. Like, but I'm recording them all in the morning. It's like 8:30 a.m. right now. And some people are still asleep because this is their low energy time of the day. The morning is my high energy time of the day. So I do high energy tasks in the morning time. If you are a night person, a night owl, and you like to sleep in a little bit, and this is really like if you work for yourself or if you work from home, so you can sleep in until like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., okay? And do your high energy task at 2 p.m. in the afternoon when you are at your peak state. This goes into being self aware of how you operate. But if you time yourself for your major activities and you give that energy rating level, that gives you a lot more information to work with to make yourself more productive. You may be uniquely different in work style from other people. And so it's important that you don't only just use the I clocked in and clocked out at work or I clocked in and clocked out for my business, but really start to look at how you operate and work what works best for you. And so timing myself on major activities really was a game changer for me. Number three, eliminate distractions. This is going to be a hard one for some of y'all. Like, if you know you're supposed to be doing something important, put your phone on D&D, put your phone in another room. People always ask me, how do you keep from picking up your phone? My phone is in an entire another room, or my phone is on do not disturb. And unless you call me 3 times back to back, you cannot get in contact with me right now. Like, eliminate your distractions. I have a 1 year old and a 3 year old. I do not work with them at home. Like, I pay for them to go to school. It's $2,000 a month. But listen, I pay that $2,000 a month so that I can eliminate my distractions throughout the day. I pick them up pretty early. And there are some days of the week where they don't even go. I still got to pay y'all. But there's some days of the week where they don't even go. And that's just how I prioritize like spending time with my children. But I eliminated the distractions. They get to go to school and play with all the other kids their age and had the time of their life. And both of them have been going to preschool since they were 6 weeks old. And for me being a woman of African American descent, that is not normal. Most people of African American descent do not send their kids to preschool until they're like 2 years old, 3 years old, like until they can talk is basically when they wait, right? But mine went at 6 weeks because I had to eliminate the distractions. And so for me, it's definitely phone, children. I don't order anything during the day because I don't want to have to get up from work and go pick that up or whatever, unless it's a running errands day, quote unquote, air quotes you guys can't see. But yeah, eliminate the distractions. And I tell people like, Mom, I'm working, don't call me. Like, I'm busy. Boyfriend, don't call me. I'm working. Like, and I turn on, if you have an iPhone, you can actually turn it on in your settings to allow people to see whether your phone is on do not disturb or it's in personal status. So then when they go to text you, they already know you're working. So just setting up those boundaries and that transparency and communication so that you don't have as many distractions. Number four is taking breaks. Recess is a thing. Adult recess is so necessary. Like, and I'm not just talking about recess like once throughout the day or twice throughout the day. My kids have two recesses, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I do frequent work breaks. I try to use the Pomodoro method as much as I possibly can. Sometimes I'm in my workflow and I do not pause. But the Pomodoro method is 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So you set a timer, you do 25 minutes of intense work on one activity, and then you take a 5 minute break. That's get up, walk around, do 10 jumping jacks, stretch, do a mindfulness exercise, 5 minute guided meditation, which by the way, I'm going to start adding some faith-based guided meditations to my channel that you guys can also tap into and utilize, but it's giving your brain a break. And then you go in for another 25 minute, segment of intense, focused, productive work. Now, I said prior to this step, I said sometimes I just keep working through the break because I'm like in a state of flow, but I at least try to take a break once every 45 minutes. And then after a couple of cycles of the Pomodoro method, you take a little bit of a longer break. So I may get up and like walk out of my office. I may walk around my apartment building. I live in an apartment. So I may go outside and do a lap around the building. Just something to like, breathe in the fresh air, get the sun, take my mind off of work, give my mind just a quick rest before I go back into another intense working block. Okay. So taking breaks, it really helps. Number five, delegating tasks when you can. This is possibly my favorite, but it's also the hardest for me. I love to delegate tasks. Like Instacart, love it. Sometimes they don't bring me the right stuff, but that's a whole nother story. I love delegating tasks. I love having the cleaners come in. I love having the nanny come if my kids are at home and I'm like, I want to see you, but I still have work to get done. So I love bringing in the nanny, bringing in the maid. Like, that's vibes, right? Delegating. Even in my business. Now, if you work a 9 to 5, I'm not really sure how much you could actually delegate. You can delegate to other people on your team depending on your position. I don't know if you're allowed to have a virtual assistant, but I have a virtual assistant. So when things are just a lot for me, overwhelming, I figure out what I can delegate to my virtual assistant. The thing with delegating for me that's difficult is that, like, you have to be a really good communicator to be a really good delegator. And so you have to be very good at saying what you need, when you need it, why you need it, how you need it done, like what exactly it is. You have to have very specific instructions, especially if you have a virtual assistant that is remote, which most virtual assistants are remote and you'll never meet your virtual assistant. I've had an assistant in person before that came to my office each day. This was in 2021. Yeah, this was 2021 and 2022. She came to my office every day. That was pretty good. I mean, because she came every day. So she knew my personality. So I didn't have to explain as much to her. But you have to be a really good communicator. So I'm still learning how to be a great communicator every single day. I'm still learning how to be a leader every single day. So delegating is sometimes difficult because you can delegate a task and get back something completely different than what you thought you asked for. And this happens at work too. This used to happen all the time when I was a supervisor. I'm like, I asked for this, but what you did is not what I asked for. It's not the person, it's you. You have to learn how to communicate and how to lead based off of different people's personality types and different people's communication preferences. And it's a lot. Okay. That's why supervisors are supervisors. Like, your job is to supervise. You do work too, but a lot of your job is like overseeing the productivity and the functionality of the team. So it's definitely difficult, but it is very good for your productivity because you cannot do it all. And God did not design you to do it all. He designed you and created you for a sole purpose and to operate in that purpose, obviously doing different things in different seasons, but you were created for an assignment. And so he is going to send you different people that are to assist you in glorifying him and working together for the greater good. If we were created to be able to do everything by ourselves, then we would not be here. It would just be one. There would have been no Adam and Eve. There would have just been Adam or just been Eve. So just realize that, right? And you can actually look throughout the Bible and you'll see different references of like some of our most favorite talked about biblical people had support. Moses had Aaron, Elijah had Elisha. Okay. And Moses also had Joshua. Moses had lots of people. But you'll see that a lot of those people had support. Jesus had the 12 disciples. Mary had Mary. It was Mary and Mary. It wasn't Mary by herself, right? So delegating tasks when you can is super important. And then number 6, last but not least, for how to be more productive as a woman in your 20s and 30s is to stay organized. Stay organized. Get a system, okay? Whether it's a life system or business system. And by the way, on the coaching side of my business, my jam is systems. That's what I'm known for. It's my niche. I've been doing it for, I'm in my 8th year now, full time. So staying organized is like really my thing. But on the life side, you want to make sure you give yourself a loose schedule to stay consistent with. So if Monday is your CEO day or Monday is your me day where you prioritize how you're being effective and proactive in your personal life, then that's what you do on Mondays. If Tuesdays is your call day or your touch base day, Tuesday touch base days, I'm going to make sure I reach out to all the people that I've met this week, people that I've seen throughout the office. And I'm just going to ask them, how is your life going? How are things going with you on a personal level, right? And building relationships may be your Tuesdays. And Wednesdays may be your check-in days for KPIs to make sure that everything is on track to getting done. I'm a project manager, so I talk in project management talk, right? But if Wednesdays are your days for that, then Wednesdays are your days. If Fridays are your self-care days, and Fridays is your self-care days, right? But just have a loose schedule to stay consistent with. Try to do similar tasks on similar days, all right, if you can. Also, going along with staying organized is close some of them tabs on your computer. Girl, you got way too many tabs open on your laptop. Leave this YouTube tab open because you're listening to me right now. But all the other tabs, close them tabs. Y'all got 50 million things on your desktop. Clean your desktop off, please, on your computer. And then go into like actually organizing your workspace. Organize your home. I promise you, when you change your physical environment, your mental environment will fall in alignment. 100%. But start by closing them tabs. I promise you, you're not going to forget what's on your to-do list. You're not going to not be able to refine that resource. Like, just save it as a bookmark and close the tab. Like, be done with it. Because the tabs open on your computer are the tabs open on in your brain. Okay. And the stuff on your desktop is literally causing you to have mindset clutter. I promise you it is. All right. So that's all we have for today on how to stay more productive in your 20s and 30s. Listen, if you guys have any questions, do me a favor, leave them in the comments below. If I missed a task or a title or a topic that you feel like could definitely fit into how you stay more productive, leave it in the comments below. I am all for collective intelligence. I want to hear what you guys do to stay more productive. There's probably some things that I haven't tried yet that could help me level up in my life. So, as a girl's girl, I want to welcome you to the comment section to give us all of your best tips and resources. Like, this is definitely giving into the community. Thank y'all for listening to this episode. I'll be back with another one soon. Bye, y'all.